Welcome back to the channel. So today we've got, according to Doug DeMuro, the fourth worst 2024 car being sold in the US today. So it's the XM. Again, we've had many of these on the channel. Currently, this makes the fifth XM currently in stock. We actually ended up selling three of them. I won't say already, but we sold three of them. This one is in carbon black, a color that dates back to the E46 M3. Basically, it's a very dark blue, so the blue hues come out in sun, which we have plenty of today in downtown Mountain View. So it's the G09 chassis, and like every other single XM that we've had, it's dealer stock. Now, obviously, I think the main point with Doug's ranking, if you will, is the price on this thing and what you get from performance. So let's go over this car in particular. So we've got our split headlight design. Basically mimics what's on the X7 and a little bit hints at the iX. Of course, also the 7 Series. Then you got your illuminated M kidney grille. And not double slat, but slats that go along the horizontal axis. And XM badging that's outlined in gold. Then you got the parking assistance package there. Again, most everything on this car is standard, which I think is a good step for a BMW. There's only, I think, one option on this car. Then we got the driving assistance professional package sensor down there at the bottom. And the three-quarters view, I think, looks pretty good, at least the front three-quarters. Obviously, this is a car not for everyone, given the price point. And it's also a plug-in hybrid. So we've got the style 923M wheels, the 23-inch wheels with the red M Sport calipers. These aren't compound brake calipers, unfortunately. Pirelli P0s, the tire, that plug-in hybrid door flap is right there, below the XM badging on the side, which you can also add a gold trim on the exterior if you want to be bold and crazy. But side profile I think looks pretty good. So a plug-in hybrid has a 25.7 kilowatt hour battery, which translates to roughly 30 miles of full electric range on this thing. We'll talk about horsepower and torque when we pop the hood. Then out back, got our XM badging in an unusual place for BMW over on the left-hand side. Our quad exhaust stacked, reminiscent of, say, like the IS, what was it, IS 500 it might have been, back in the day when the E90 M3 was out. Then laser etched BMW roundel on either side of the panels, or either side of the back windscreen. Rear view, take it or leave it. And that rear three-quarters view, which looks decent. All right, so we'll make our way inside, go over pricing and option. I guess I can let you do color and interior, but no cost options on those ones. But front view, I think looks pretty decent. You got our M-style mirror caps. All right, so opening up. I think it's the interior to go with against carbon black. So it's Silverstone with vintage coffee leather. So on the door card, you got your vintage coffee leather on the upper portion. Sort of feels like an old couch, maybe from your grandma's time. And the seats, I think, are pretty comfortable. XM badging that lights up on the head restraint. Perforations, Silverstone looks great against the carbon black. And then down below, you have adjustment for side bolster, lumbar support, powered crumb catcher, and upper backrest adjustment. And I think a miss here, instead of having an XM on the door sill, it's just an M badge. Given the price point, why not have something unique about the XM? All right, so in front of me, your standard M steering wheel. And then you've got M stitching. And the heated steering wheel does exist, it's just not a button anymore, it's in the iDrive. And M badging. Then you got your red M1, M2 buttons like you have in almost every other M car. And then we got the carbon fiber shift pedals, which look really, really good. And in front of me, I drive 8.5, the M version, which looks just like the M version of iDrive 8. This is an M mode Sport. Then heads-up display. The rest of the curved display for iDrive 8.5. The only difference between 8 and 8.5 of the M versions is basically quick access to the heated seat, ventilated seat, and steering wheel there, and the climate menu looks very different than what you have on iDrive 8. Then you got some more carbon fiber interior trim, vintage coffee leather, and then also Alcantara at the top. And then we've got more carbon fiber. Then the gear selector with the embossed M emblem and M stitching. Alright, so starting price of the 2024 XM is $159,000. The Silverstone and vintage coffee leather adds another $2,500, and I think it's this one or it's the sort of turquoise blue one are the ones to get, because secure orange is fine, but black is very boring. Then we've got an adjustment for the adapter credit, which appears on the bottom of the MSRP list. Everything else is included until you get down to Barrows and Wilkins sound system for another $3,400. I think that should be standard, but that's just me. You got all-weather floor mats, as well as the turbo cord charger, which I think looks just like the flexible fast charger 2.0. All told, MSRP of this particular example, $166,120. So obviously it's a very expensive BMW, and it's not going to make sense for almost everyone, but it's a sort of a cool thing to have around. But would I get one? Probably not. I'm waiting for that M5 Touring. That's the one I would get. It's going to have the same powertrain as the XM. Then the rest of the interior, which I think looks really, really good. And the advantage of the X5M is obviously more room. So DeMuro said, you know, it's really, you're paying a lot for a slower car than the X5M comp, which totally agree with on the base XM. Then you got basically this really weird design going on here. Lots of geometric shapes, what feels like Alcantara on the roof, and you got ambient lighting up there. Then you got climate control zone for the rear passengers, and then USB-C charging ports down there at the bottom, as well as them in the back of the front seats. But the advantage of the XM is knee room and legroom super fantastic in the back seat, and then headroom not really an issue, and the rear seats do have a nice recline in them, which makes sitting in the back seat very, very comfortable. And lots of nice quilting and details on the door cards on the rear. So cargo area, you know, it's not too bad. You also have that shelf here that you can remove. Then you do get this very lovely charging bag that includes the charger down there and XM branding. You can actually order this for any vehicle. You can add this as a port installed or vehicle accessory when you order a car. So it still has the XM badging, but I think it's a pretty good looking bag. And it's got your all-weather floor mats. There's no extra cargo area below the floor here, but it's a decent size. Alright, so we'll make our way to the front and pop the hood and talk about the power in this vehicle, which is obviously, you know, a pretty good power output. I'll say it's a combined output. So underneath the hood here is the S68 4.4 liter V8 twin turbo engine. So the engine itself, I believe, puts out 483 horsepower, and it's combined with 194 horsepower electric motor. So combined output is 644 horsepower and 590 torques. So quite a powerful engine setup. It's also moving a very large vehicle. Well, that's it for another tour around the XM. We'll see you at the next video.